Can I ask you something? Are you in control of the conversations that you have? And do you get what you want from those conversations? No? Then this video is for you. I will tell you everything you need to know to become a great communicator. Shall we get started? Hi, I'm Winfred, and as a coach it's my passion to guide as many people as possible to happiness and success. Therefore, I want to share valuable knowledge and techniques that help you to improve your success and happiness. Communication is one of the most important keys to your success and happiness, because it greatly influences the way you live and work with others. In this video, I will teach you about 3 important phases of communication: prepare, commit, and connect to improve your communication skills. At the end of this video, I will give you 5 extra tips. You can skip forward to each part of the video with the timestamps you can find in the description below. A meaningful conversation always begins before you start talking. You should always determine the intention of the conversation. Do you want to share or learn something? Do you want to help with a problem, or do you want to ask for assistance? Clarity about this intention will make it much easier to have a good conversation. When you know your intention, you can also prepare for the conversation, because the more you know, the better you will communicate. Sometimes it might even be better to define your strategy for the conversation. For example, you write a lot of reports during work. The research and the writing is not a problem, but finding the best layout is always a problem. One of your colleagues is very good at design and you want to ask her to teach you. Your intention is very clear, you want to learn something new. You can just ask your colleague to help you, but she will probably say that she is too busy. You made her a one-way proposal. If you took more time to prepare, you could have foreseen this. You wonder, how could I convince her? You realize that you often ask her to help you with the design of your reports. You should mention to her that it will save her lots of time if she teaches you the basics of design. Then you won't have to ask her all the time, and that way it's much more likely that she will say yes. Do you see how preparing can contribute to a good conversation? After a good preparation, it's all about your mindset. To have a good conversation, you have to commit yourself to that conversation. First of all, you need to be present. Don't multitask and put all your devices away. Give the other person your complete and undivided attention. You also have to commit to be equal partners in this conversation. Therefore, it's important that you are ready to show yourself, because your curiosity about the other person will reflect back on you. The other person will be interested in you. Let him or her see who you are. The best way to do that is to be authentic, honest, and have integrity. So be yourself, don't gossip, and don't lie. And you should always wish the other person well. That way you will never judge or offend them. Now that you're prepared and committed, you are ready for a great conversation. Let's connect. The beginning of connecting is not when you start talking, but it is the moment that the other person sees you. Therefore, you should think about your posture, facial expression, and about the greeting gesture that you will use. Once you do that, you will see that the conversation will start better. To improve the start even better, you should always start the conversation by greeting them. And don't forget to ask them how they are today. Be curious. Everyone likes it when someone is interested in them. With the right mindset, you will always be sincere, and that's important, because the other person will always feel it when you are not connecting out of sincere interest. Just like you, everyone wants to be heard and understood. Therefore, 3 things are very important for you during a conversation: active listening, ask questions, and refrain from judgment. Allow me to explain each of them. If you want to be a good communicator, you have to become a great listener. Active listening is a choice and a skill. When you choose to commit yourself to a conversation, you will give the other person your complete and undivided attention. Active listening as a skill is a challenge for a lot of people. That is because during all your life, you're mostly taught how to speak and rarely how to listen. Therefore, you will have to practice a lot. While listening, you need to pay attention to verbal and non-verbal communication. To start, you should make eye contact, because that keeps focus for you as well as for the other person. Be mindful of your posture. It should be open, so you will show the other person that you are interested. At the same time, you should pay attention to the non-verbal communication of the other person. You can easily notice feelings and emotions. Those non-verbal signs often mean that you have found their interest or passion. Active listening also means that you will let them speak. Don't speak over them when you want to respond. Give them the time that they need to finish their story. Keep in mind that you will learn much more when you are not talking. Once the other person finishes their story, it's your turn. You could start to talk about you, but that will not help the conversation. Your opportunity will come later. For now, you should keep the conversation focused on the other person. Go with the flow and anticipate on what the other told you. That way you will give an informed response that matches or follows their story. The other person will notice that you paid attention and are interested to know more. Ask simple, open questions that will engage the other person even more. That way you will learn much more about them and about the subject he or she is talking about. Sentences starting with what, where, who, when and how are perfect for this purpose. Don't be afraid to ask to clarify something that you didn't understand. Always, yes, always refrain yourself from judging the other person's opinions or ideas. It is perfectly fine to disagree, but don't let it become criticism. No matter what their opinion is, you should always validate their feelings and sympathize with them. That way they feel that they have been heard. It's up to them to decide about their opinion. What you should do is ask them questions like, what makes it that you feel it like this? Who made you feel it like this? And when did you first see it like this? What you should never do is compare your situation with theirs. I know it's tempting, but there are 2 reasons why you shouldn't do it. First, it switches focus from them to you. Second, everyone has different experiences in similar situations. Those experiences are all equal and all allowed. For example, you have a friend that has a problem. You had that problem before and learned valuable lessons while solving this problem. You could share this with him by telling him about how you solved the problem. But he will probably respond that this solution will not work for him because his situation is different. You should choose a different approach. First, ask him about the problem and how he experiences it. Ask what he already tried to solve the problem and why it didn't work. Then tell him that you have once solved a problem that looked like this. Ask him if he wants to know more because it might help him too. I am pretty sure that he will now seriously wants to hear your solution. Why? Because you were interested in his story. You helped him realize the things that he had already tried, and you prepared him for a new solution. That way, you handled this problem with respect for his feelings and experiences. Now that you know what you need to know about prepare, commit and connect, I am sure that you will have great conversations. Just to help you even more, I have gathered 5 quick tips about communication. 1. Be brief and specific. Don't spill too much information over them. Only tell them what they need to know. It's about the quality of your words and not the quantity. 2. Use your voice. Vary the pace of your speech and the tone of your voice to keep the other person interested and focused. 3. Dare to pause. It will relax you and will give you time to think of a better answer. At the same time, you use it to get the other person's attention. And it will reduce the number of times that you say and ah. Who doesn't like that? 4. Don't repeat yourself. It rarely supports the point that you want to make. Okay, allow me for once. I will repeat myself. Be brief. 5. No gossip, no negativity, no complaining, no excuses, and no lying. That will keep your conversation sincere, honest, and positive. I am sure that when you practice these tips, you will grow into a great communicator. But I'm curious, which of your communication skills do you want to work on first? Let me know in the comments below. Enjoy your day and keep in mind that during every conversation, there's always something new to learn. Bye!